Okay guys, this is Mr. Gibson. I'm going to show you all how to calculate the volume of a cylinder. Okay, this is the basic shape of the cylinder. Kind of looks like a tube. Has a circle on the bottom and a circle on the top, and it's a 3D figure. So it'd be like a rod or a tube. And the basic idea here is that you take the area of this circle, and if you stack that area, a bunch of circles on top of each other, you would get the volume, or how much space is occupied by this cylinder. Okay, so if we had just infinitesimally small areas or circles, we could just stack them all together and we get the volume of this. So this gives us a formula that uses the area of a circle and times it by whatever the height of this cylinder is. Okay, so let's get to a couple of examples because it's pretty easy and straightforward. Okay, so we're given a cylinder here. Find the volume of each figure. Round your answers to the nearest hundreds. Okay, so from the formula, which I'll just write down real quick. Okay, V equals pi r squared h. Okay, that means we're going to need the radius and we're going to need the height. The radius is half the diameter, or half of the distance across the circle. So this diameter is 4, so that means the radius is going to be 2. So 4 kilometers, or in this case, the radius would be 2 kilometers, because we're going to have to use units. Okay, and the height, it shows us the height is 4 kilometers. Which equals 4 kilometers. Okay, so we're going to plug this into our formula. So V equals pi 2 kilometers squared times 4 kilometers. Okay, now 2 kilometers squared is 4 kilometers squared times 4 kilometers, and 4 times 4 is 16, so we have 16 pi kilometers cubed. So whatever units you have will always end up cubed when you guys find volume. Volume is always in cube, and we'll talk about that in class in a little more detail. Right now we're just solving equations or problems. All right. So that was a problem that we are actually given the cylinder. This is a problem where we're given a description of the cylinder. So I'm going to actually try to draw the cylinder just to make it more visual. But you don't have to, of course. You can go ahead and solve it if you understand the formula. So again, let me write down the formula. V equals pi r squared h. Okay. This cylinder has a radius of 8 kilometers and a height of 10 kilometers. 8 kilometers and 10 kilometers, okay? So we don't even have to figure out the radius, they already give it to us. So R is 8 kilometers and H is 10 kilometers. And let's plug it into our formula. V equals pi 8 kilometers squared times 10 kilometers. 8 squared is 64 kilometers squared times 10 kilometers. 64. Okay. And 64 times 10 is 640. We got that pi there. 640 pi kilometers cubed. Again, we end up with a cube as our units for volume, which will always turn out that way, no matter what you're calculating. So at this point, you guys have seen examples of how to calculate the volume of a cylinder. And again, there's your formula, and that formula will work every time. Okay. We'll have further discussions about this in class, and remember to do the assignment attached to this video.